Welcome to Everything Life and Real Estate. Let's get started with our hosts, Linda McKissack and Dana Gentry.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Everything Life and Real Estate. I'm Linda McKissack.
And I'm Dana Gentry.
Hey, Dana, how are you?
I am doing great. I'm just mesmerized by your new setup and your area. Tell us what you've done. Y'all had a busy week.
It is causing a little extra pressure, which I don't really like, because it's like now I feel like I got to up my game, and that makes me a little nervous. But it's, nowadays everything you can do so much through Zoom, and we do podcasts and things like that. And then of course, I want to teach classes for people in Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky, but I'm in Texas. So it's going to be a studio that just allows me to be able to maybe do a couple hour course on something. I think agents really need extra things right now. And there's a couple of classes that I've been burning to try to just do a real quick one on and see what kind of interest we get. One of them is, so you want to be a trainer, coach, or speaker? Because I think a lot of leaders really start out with this desire inside to be that person that helps other people. And so I want to kind of do a mini little version of that, and then bring a big course into the region once I get enough interest. So just things like that. And then also, how to build a brand that when the market gets tough, people are still calling you.
Yeah.
I mean, so many agents are lost right now. And so I just want to try to help them understand that this is a long game. And the way you play the long game is you build a brand that when people think of real estate, they think of you. So we put a studio together that would make it easier and better. I don't know about easier. I can't turn anything on. I don't know how to do any of it.
I was going to say, what are you going to do when press is not?
Well, we have trained the whole team.
Oh, good.
So somebody will always be here with me to at least get it started. No job too small to subcontract around my house.
That's Adam's motto too.
Yeah. So just, I mean, nowadays everything, so much can be done through video and all that stuff. Yeah. So it was time to really up the game and get some, nice equipment and get some stuff that if I did do a big class that it would be a lot more functional.
How am I seeing you right now? Is it a camera?
Yep, it's camera. I don't know what's on the top of that thing.
It looks great.
Yeah, some of this stuff we actually had from used to. Keller Williams would come out on site. There was a fee you paid, and they'd set you up a studio back when all this kind of first started. Mm-hmm. So we had the video team from Keller Williams come, and we have lights and stuff that we had from back then, and a green screen. I don't know if we're using the green screen anymore, but the lights and stuff we actually already had. So
that's so cool. Yeah, and that's a perfect spot in your house. I mean, perfect.
Yeah. Nobody's really ever up here, and it was kind of a dead space, so it was perfect.
And you've got that light coming in from those doors,
windows, and the doors. Yeah.
So that's perfect.
Yeah, we have them closed right now with remote blinds, but you can raise them if you need to.
Oh, so that's lighting then. That's not natural light. It looks very good.
Yeah, no, this is all lighting. So so and you can change the colors on it. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I love this.
Yeah, if we get enough interest from people and they want to know, how do I set up a studio? We can start from what would be a minimum studio, what would be a level 2, what would be a level 3. I'm sure we can get
I was gonna say, we'll have to have Josh and Press and Andy all on one time to she could give everybody the how-to.
Yeah, that's exactly. So we're in January. A lot of people are thinking about health, and you and I talked about, we got a lot of requests from people to talk about health. I think in January, if nobody thinks about it any other time of the year, you think about your health in January, right?
So true. Yeah. And I really wanted to start with you talking about your, oh my gosh, why am I forgetting what it's called? The whatever age.
Let's see, your chronological is what you really are.
Biological.
Right? Biological is what you can reverse it to. So if anybody reads about health or understands, right now there's a lot of talk about, reversing your age biologically. And so all that means is you're going to feel better longer in life. And so I had started, so first of all, my journey on health started probably in my late 30s. I read a book by Suzanne Summers. Yeah. And now she was the blonde on Two's Company. So she appeared to be this dingy lady, But to be honest with you, she was really pretty smart, and she was bold enough that where she wasn't smart to go get people that were intelligent to bring her information. So she had the very first book out, and in the back of the book, she started listing what they call functional medicine doctors. Now you're doing a functional medicine doctor now. And I personally would get me a functional medicine doctor. I don't care who's listening to this, go find a functional medicine doctor that you can, whether you do the whole gamut or not, because it can be expensive because insurance isn't going to cover it. So I listed out what would be level 1 on people's health, what would be level 2, and what would be level 3 if you wanted to get serious. But the main thing was I started finding these functional medicine doctors because my doctor started talking about synthetic hormones. And I thought, I'm a person that, I don't want to do that stuff. I don't want to do any medicine if I can keep from it. So I started doing what they call bioidentical hormones at a pretty early age, and just kept staying with those kind of doctors. And then that doctor, he was old, so he wound up retiring and stuff like that. But now the doctor that I have now just wrote a book called 100 is the New 30. And we've had him on the podcast before, Dr. Jeff Gladden, and his whole team, he has a whole team. And one of the things I love the most is if we have an issue, we immediately call or text. We have a doctor right there, and we spent months trying to get Jimmy into a cardiologist 2 years ago. It was a nightmare. So I think if nothing else, you need to start having that kind of stuff laid out in your life. Like, who would be a concierge doctor that you could just take a phone call from you and say, hey, my heart's in AFib. What do I do?
Well, it's funny. Yesterday we went into Amelia she kind of tweaked her back somehow last weekend playing tennis, and we just shot a text to Todd at our concierge place, and he said, bring her over here. So after school, we ran and got her at 4 and took her over there, and he did shockwave therapy on her whole back. I mean, all this happened within a 2-hour time frame. I told Adam when we left, we're just blessed to have them, because normally you'd have had to call a doctor, then they would have seen you, then they would have sent you to an ortho probably, then you would have had to wait a couple weeks. It's there's just it's a huge difference. I haven't gotten Dr. Gladden's new book yet, by the way. Is that out?
It just came out.
Man, okay, I got that. Okay, so in your Dan Sullivan coaching group, you guys measure that, right?
Well, actually, it was funny. I was on a strategic coach with Dan Sullivan, and he says to me, congratulations. I said, for what? And he said, he said I was number 16. I think I was number 17 out of 1,750 or 1,790 people that they entered into this kind of, contest of people that were, I guess, working with longevity doctors or wellness doctors that where the stuff they were doing was actually reversing their age. And so he said, congratulations, you were number 16. I was number 1. So I said, well, good, you give me something to shoot for. And he said, yeah, I'm happy for you to be number 2 next year. But here's the cool thing. It came at a time that I was living in the gap about my health. I've been super frustrated about this mold and Lyme that I can't seem to, it's been a journey, my gut. It's just been not fun, not fun at all. So I was kind of living in the gap. And so it was such a great reminder that once I get through all of this, I am on the right track. I'm doing the right things, right? So it was the shot in the arm that I needed, because I really was thinking, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm never going to get out of this and start making progress back to where I was. And so that was just a good reminder that, it's the consistent things that you do over time that are going to make the biggest difference. And so I kind of wrote out, if somebody's just at level 1 basic, here's what I said. And I know this is crazy, but we were at dinner with Shane Kokoska. Shane is Diana's son that is the doctor right? in Colorado. And he's all wellness side. And we said, what's one thing you would tell everybody to do? And he said, water.
I had that on my list.
Jimmy goes, 8 years of medical school and it's water, but it's true. And, spring water is what you need. Don't drink out of your faucets and things like that. There's too much crap in it. But if you just started making sure that you were getting, what do they say? Half your body weight, at least half your body weight in water.
Yeah, I think that's close to being right. I don't know. My plan right now is supposed to be 68 ounces of
Yeah.
water a day with a LMNT and one in the morning, first thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Okay. So yeah, I do the same thing. There's a few things I put in my water. I would say I'm probably at like level 4 on all this stuff. So some
yeah,
of my stuff would blow people's mind away. So I said, let's just say if you just want to be at level 1 with your health, you do water every
yep.
day. Make sure you do water. If you can put some electrolytes in it, that's great. Element is a great one. Pure is another one.
Yeah, and
Weights.
I brought this to show too, because is
Yes.
that level 1 or no?
Perfect aminos. It could be for somebody.
Yeah, I've been
Is
doing
that the powder or the pills?
this is the pills. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, they're nice. They're big, but they're coated.
yeah,
And
right.
let me what I've been told, and I know just enough to be dangerous, so nobody take this as medical advice. Please go to
Oh
a
yeah,
doctor.
we should have started with that. We are not medical professionals.
Yeah, we're barely professionals in the real estate world,
That's
really.
right.
So, but we try our best.
That's
But
right.
those are perfect aminos, and what those do is they give you extra protein also.
Yeah,
So I
my
think
body.
I sat down with my nutritionist over the Christmas holidays on Zoom. And I said, look, I struggle getting all that protein in that everybody tells me I need. So we started adding up in between the pills I take in the morning of that, and
Yep.
then I take a few more in the evening, and then the powder of that I put in my drink, that's 45 grams of protein.
Yeah. Is this the powder?
And then there's collagen with protein. Now, I did hear somebody on a podcast the other day say that you should get when you get up in the morning, you should get within 30 minutes. First of all, you should go outside, which I started doing that in Montana. It was fantastic. Do some
Yeah.
breathing exercises,
Oh, what
get
is it called?
outside, see the sun.
Sun needs to hit your eyes. Yeah, I can't think of what
Yeah.
that's, but that's a big thing in the mornings.
Yeah. So with that, then also do 30, at least she said 20 to 30 grams of protein, I think, first thing in the morning, but don't
Yep.
count that one as your 30.
Yeah, I
Don't
do it.
count your collagen. You're
But
holding up the collagen protein.
yeah, this is just, yeah. And some people are listening to this, but I thought maybe if I know more people are watching now, so I wanted to try to show them too. But this is the, I don't know how you say it, but VIT Authority, Vit Authority, Vite Authority, multi-collagen protein. And your person told you about this, and then you told me
Yeah.
on this one. And
Yeah,
this is
same one.
clean one.
So the second thing I put is weights.
Yeah.
Weights. When you read read Peter Attia or anybody that says, if you want to be healthy in your older age, you've got to have muscle.
Yep.
And we start to lose muscle. I mean, I think after 30, people start to lose muscle. I'm sure if they stay in the gym all the time, they don't. But I would
can
say
tell
weights.
a huge difference in the last 5 years of
Yeah.
just how I don't have the muscle that I had before.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So weights 2 to 3 days a week. And here's the thing, weights are not easy for me. So I would say on any of this stuff, if it's not easy, don't start with 2 to 3 days. Start with,
Yeah.
1 day, but figure out a way that you can get yourself to do it. If it means you got to hire a trainer or you got to do it with a friend that you could be more accountable to.
Yeah.
Weights are something that I have to have in place, some type of accountability, or I won't do it.
Yeah.
If tomorrow my
literally have
trainer
mine
quit
in the
me,
bathroom.
huh?
I have literally an 8-pound set just right next to my vanity in the bathroom right now, because I'm just trying to do a little bit before, like 15 minutes in the morning and before I go to bed. And if they're not right there, I'm going to get on to something else. If
Yeah.
it's like, if I'm not going to the gym.
Yeah. So, and then I also put number 3 on level 1, basic, starting to get your health going in the right direction, was cardio in zone 2 for you. And what that means is, for me, my zone 2, if I'm walking, is 113 to 134.
Yeah.
And if I'm cycling, it's 107 to 126. So if my heart rate is at that level, I could probably at least have somewhat of a conversation with somebody.
Okay. So question on that. How did you know where your zones were? Someone told you
Okay,
that.
so there's 2 things. You can go online and Google how to figure out your zone 2, and there'll be a formula that takes your age by a certain thing, and it does a formula. Or you can find a gym that does what they call VO2 max training. Honestly,
Oh, I have that next week. Yay.
okay, the VO2 is what puts you in I think is what put me in the contest for biological age. I think that something about that, because VO2 is the biggest indicator of your true age, right?
Yep.
And so here's the thing. I did HIIT for a year. I stopped running outside for little longer distances and started doing HIIT training at like what's that place that is just treadmills, rowing, and weights?
Oh, like Orange Theory?
Orange Theory. And my VO2 went down. So
Oh,
for some people, I think HIIT training where you get your
yeah.
high intensity
Yeah.
a little bit might be good for them. For me, it wasn't. It made my VO2 go down.
Yeah.
So that might be something you have to figure out or play with, but you can either do it online with a formula, or you can find a gym that does VO2 training, testing, or you can find a doctor that
Yep.
does it.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I put on just on level 1 is what we talked about earlier. Get in the sun within 30 minutes when you first wake up, if there's light, go outside, do
Yep.
some breathing exercises, do something. And, there's one more on this one too. And then at night, cover your eyes, either at least when you watch TV or some kind of night thing when you sleep that darkens the room if you don't have dark out in your room. And then the very last one that I would say is a minimum is no more of the weird oils. You only can have olive oil,
Oh,
avocado
yeah.
oil, or coconut oil.
Yeah.
No
Yep.
other oils. Get rid
That
of the oils.
that has been such a game changer for me over the last 2 years is the oils. Like I only use avocado oil, and I think I might have shared this before, but unless when I'm eating out, but I have been cooking, Linda, for the last 2 weeks. Like every night we've eaten out 2 times, and it was like easy eat out. Like we had oysters and a salad at one place, and then I did get a big fat cheeseburger this week because I had eaten so good for like
Yeah.
3 weeks because I'm on my 21 days of prayer and fasting, so I'm doing no sugar. But anyway, I can tell the biggest difference. Like Adam said last night, do you want to go to Obstinate Daughter and have a date night? And I said, honestly, I want to spend time with you, but I don't want to eat out. I'd rather cook at home
Yeah.
because I felt like disgusting after we went to hibachi for 2 days. Like I was
Yeah. Yes.
and it's the oil.
Yes.
Like I know 100% when you get off of that and you're eating
Yep.
so clean and then you go to eat something like that. I mean, I just was like anything. I was like, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah. Yeah. The more
You
you
don't
get it out of your
realize
system, the
it.
worse it feels when you eat it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the last 2 weeks, I told Adam, I don't know if it's because I'm starting the day in church at 7 a.m. or if it's because I've had no processed foods. I've had so much energy during the day. Like normally I get
Yeah.
that afternoon kind of crash because I don't drink caffeine. But I've had the most energy during the day. Like it has been crazy. And but
Yeah.
now I'm tired at night, like 9:30. I'm like ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
But it's been so good. But it's just what you eat, what you put in your body. And I was glad you said sleep because I had that on my list for like a basic level sleep. Like if you don't have an Oura ring to measure your sleep, you have to get one. They need to give us a code because I feel like we've had so many people
Yeah.
buy the Oura ring.
Yes, for
They
sure.
send us the Gucci one for free. But
Oh God, yes, that would be so
I
nice.
I
It's
know we
on my
need.
list.
Yeah, it's on mine too. We need to make that happen. But really, anything you read, like number one with your health is your sleep. And you don't realize how much it
Hmm.
really plays into as a factor. Luckily, I'm a really good sleeper. Adam is not. And actually, I brought this to show you. And it's so funny because we've had this and now it's like showing up all over Instagram. But that Mary Ruth's brand, like I take some of their vitamins and probiotics, but this liquid nighttime multi-mineral, all of the like health people that I follow are saying it tastes really good too. It's coconut, it's super good. But it's vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, sugar-free, and like kids can take it. But it's like relaxation and sleep because it's got magnesium in it and a bunch of other stuff.
So how many grams of magnesium is in it?
Let's see. It's got
And is there melatonin in it or only magnesium?
no melatonin in it. Because melatonin does the opposite to Adam. It makes him stay awake instead of go to sleep. For some people, I think it does that too. I need glasses so bad and I
But
cannot.
melatonin is actually better for a lot of things. Like there's parts of it that are really good for your gut. Like if you're healing your
Oh,
gut, melatonin is super important.
this has magnesium. The only thing bad that this has is it does have xanthan gum, which my girl says zero gums.
Yeah.
Like anything has gum, stay away from it. So we don't really eat anything that has gum in it. Magnesium, it has 35%. No, it has 217%, 5 milligrams.
That's not very much. Magnesium or melatonin?
Uh, uh,
Magnesium?
oh no, magnesium. It has 100 milligrams. I'm sorry.
Okay.
100 milligrams of magnesium.
And does it have melatonin also?
I don't see melatonin. You'll have to look it up and see if what
Okay.
you think at the back of it.
Well,
But
it would be on there. It might be on there. I don't know. That's cool. All right. That's good. Yeah. We do a drink called Calm, and then we put some extra magnesium in it. It's
I've
called
seen Calm.
upgraded magnesium and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen the Calm a lot. Do you like that?
It's kind of more of a ritual than it is anything. You
Yeah.
drink it and it's warm, and we
Yeah.
squeeze some extra upgraded magnesium in it, and then L-theanate. There's so many magnesiums that it's kind of confusing with people. There's
Yeah.
only certain ones that actually are good for sleep that like the L-theanate, I think is one of the best ones for sleep. And that's
Yeah.
one of the ones that we squeeze in there. Is that in there?
Magnesium citrate.
Citrate. Yeah, that's another one. And then
Yeah.
there's one that starts with a G that they have me take too. And I can't remember what that one's for, but there's like 15 different
Yeah.
magnesiums. It's very confusing.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, so what do you have on your, can we add one more thing to level 1, I would say?
Yep.
And that, like, for me, I think that's just a basic, and maybe it's so basic you might have forgot it, but just like vitamins and supplements. I mean, I think sometimes people forget, but I can just tell such a difference when I'm not taking my supplements. I don't know if you might have had that later.
Yeah, actually, I did have D3 as I was trying to think of what are the very basic ones if they were only going to do a few, because it can be overwhelming. As
Yeah.
many, like Jimmy looks at me all the time, every time he's like popping a handful of supplements. And I said, but look at you now from 2 years ago.
So true. Jimmy looks the best I've seen him look, and
It's
like I've known him.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, one thing about sleep too is they said more important, like I get hung up on that. I don't get much deep sleep sometimes, and they say the REM and the deep, if you have an Oura ring, should add up to about half of your total sleep. Mine doesn't always do that. But also one of those things that I read recently that's one of the most important things about sleep, that's more than anything, is even how much you get, is going to bed at the very same time and getting up at the very same time.
Yeah, that's
So
what I've been working on.
yeah. But I would say on supplements, what would you say? D3, B12?
B12 is definitely one that I take. Not
CoQ10. Do you do CoQ10?
I do CoQ10. Yeah, and so does Adam. And then for me specifically, I have to take a digestive enzyme before because I have
Me too.
bad. But I do the Da Vinci Alzheimer's, and I have to, I take this even before I drink my protein shake in the morning. This is the one Dr. Ryan said is like the best of the best. And they're not expensive, honestly. It's just Da Vinci Alzheimer's is what it's called. But I take this before every meal, 15 minutes. I mean, I forget sometimes. Like last night, we had steak and I made those Japanese white sweet potatoes that Betty turned me on to. And then something else. And I didn't feel bloated afterwards, but I was like, oh crap, I forgot to take my thing before, and I could tell a little bit.
Well, I've heard that if you forget it before, just take it while you're eating.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll have to, I didn't know that.
I do digestive enzymes, and I do gluten guardian.
Okay.
And then there's this one more that I take that, it's not like, an HCL, I think is one of them that I take like 4 before I eat.
I do this Motility Pro, just to help you go poo every day regularly.
Well, the other thing it does too for motility is if you're slow processor, then, I always say I did the beet test and the beets got lost. But when I first started healing my gut a year and a half ago, first thing she does is have you do these baked or roasted beets, and that's all you eat for this one meal. And then you chart how long it takes for them to process through your body. I had to tell her, I don't think mine got lost. I don't know. They never reached the other end. So that's not good. You want a faster motility.
Right.
That's why you take those.
Yeah, definitely. And the only other one, which this is just, and you can order, I'm a huge fan of Symbiotica. Like
Oh, me too. I love that brand.
Oh my gosh, it's like my favorite. And now I'm using their hand soap and like all kinds of stuff. But just their apple cider vinegar. I cannot take a shot of apple cider vinegar to save my life. But these I just take one of these every morning. And you can take these before you eat every meal too. But I just have been taking it in the morning on an empty stomach. I don't remember why they said to do this, but I think it's something with like processing your food better.
Well, also I struggle sometimes with, I guess heartburn would be what I'd call it. There's probably
Me,
another more professional name for it,
me
but
too.
apple cider vinegar knocks it out. If I take a slug of that before I eat, or if I have
Yeah.
it, it'll go away.
Yeah, that I did actually. I wonder if that's why I struggle with that big time. Like I used to take like Prevacid or whatever all the time years ago
Oh,
because
don't take that. That's
I
terrible.
know it's terrible. Yeah, I haven't taken it in like probably 5 or 6 years, but I used to take it all the time before I got healthy. And and now I sometimes will have it, but not a whole lot. But these symbioticas are great things to start, and you can get them on Amazon.
Yes.
Too. Like I'm not getting enough greens. So I've been taking the super greens one, and
Uh-huh.
it's got chlorophyll in it, and it is not very tasty. But like Adam likes it. I literally gag when I take it, so I just like try to shoot it down real quick. But it's got a lot of. I mean, I literally, Linda could not even see that. I have got to get my eyes checked. It's got a lot of. It has alfalfa powder, oatgrass, spinach, kale. All the green things because I struggle with getting enough greens for some reason.
Yeah. That's a good brand. They have a lot of things like magnesium. They have glutathione. They have a bunch of good stuff.
Yes. Oh, I forgot about that. I have that right here. That the
That
glutathione.
that one tastes terrible too.
It does. Yeah, and it's red, but I do the citrus berry one, but it's good though. Like if I at all feel like I'm getting sick, I'll take this one, the vitamin C one, and then we take this Viracid like it's
Yeah,
like
me too.
we keep this like in stock over here at Better Life. Like
Yeah.
I we give it to the kids. Like if you ever feel like something's coming on, like you can take 2 of these like every 2 hours and
Yeah.
it knocks it out.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, what'd you have on level 2? We might
Level
have.
2, I said, at this point is a good time since your gut is tied. They're starting to find out that your gut issues are tied to cancer.
Yeah.
They're tied to brain fog. They're tied to dementia. So I think we're going to start to see gut topics pop up even more.
Yeah.
And I think our guts are the way they are because we didn't know about just doing olive oil and avocado oil. And we had all these processed oils for so long and all this stuff that we've eaten and drank that we didn't know. And so I would say if you get to level 2, I would start getting my hormones checked, male
Yep.
and female.
Yep.
I would also if I felt like I had some gut issues, I would start to, and believe it or not, men have gut issues too. I don't think Jimmy has ever had a gut issue in his life, but some men do,
Yeah. Adam
and
either. He thinks it's nuts, and I'm always like, oh, my stomach.
yeah,
He's like,
yeah,
I don't think I've had a stomach ache in 20 years. I'm like, really?
I know they have good motility probably. So I would say get your gut, checked if you think there's some issues there because your mitochondria is like, I mean, your microbiome, all of that. Mitochondria is another thing that they give me a lot of supplements for to help with. I think that's your cells. I don't know, cells rejuvenating or something. There's somebody that really knows about all this stuff is going to laugh when they listen to this.
I
But so
know.
I would say start checking into that. What is your microbiome? How is it? They're getting better about getting that fixed. Um, yeah, I just think there's also a lot of specialists. Like I got to have a call with Dr. Anna Kabeka. She's like one of the
Yes.
best
I
in
wanted to know
hormones.
what all did anything great?
Yeah, she tweaked a few things like my biased. When she looked at my stuff, she said it looks like I process better if it's a cream than if I take a pill.
Mhm.
So she tweaked like my estrogen and had them do it with like emu oil.
Oh,
So the compounding pharmacy had to mix it with like emu oil. I mean, she's just smart on that stuff.
wow.
So she tweaked a few things. Um, and then I think she added one supplement or something to me. But yeah, overall, she said I'm doing really pretty good. But there was a couple of things that she could see that was off. So we worked on
Yeah,
those.
that's
But
cool.
my point on that is that was a call that would be normally somebody that you wouldn't be able to get to. You'd have to
Yeah.
fly somewhere. I don't even know where she's out of. She might be out of Dallas though.
How did you
But
connect
what
with
I'm
her?
saying is you could do Zoom calls with some of these specialists now. So if I would say if you got an issue, go to somebody who specializes in that in the functional medicine world.
Yeah.
Don't,
I
don't
had a
mess around with that.
I had a call yesterday with one of my just an agent in one of my offices, and they're just such a great agent, and such a great person. And they had been struggling so bad for the last year with like just issues. Like, I mean, and you would look at them and think, gosh, they're really healthy. But like somebody said, CT said they had like a mass like in their pelvic area. Then two other ones said they didn't. And then they've gone to all these other doctors and they're like, oh, you're just depressed. And they're like, I'm not depressed. Like something's not right.
Yeah.
And I was like, you've got to get to a functional medicine doctor. Like
Yes.
you've got to get to somebody that is actually, that, and maybe talk to a couple, but, and we were just talking through it. And I just thought it's so kind of sad, like how our healthcare system is today. I mean, she's been to like 5 different hospitals and doctors and 0 answers. And it's been like 16 or 17 months, she said so far.
Yeah.
And actually they've removed their gallbladder because,
Oh no.
and then really don't even think that she needed her gallbladder removed. So it's
Yeah.
just like, it's like I just think you have to like, your body and you have to like seek the answers.
Yes. Well, you have to be the CEO of your own health. You
Yes.
cannot take a doctor just because they've got an 8-year degree or whatever the heck they had to have to do that and think that they know everything. They
That's right.
don't. Just like I've had 2 different functional people say to me, do you know you have pernicious anemia? And pernicious anemia is where when you go get a blood test, your B12 shows that you're high, but you really aren't absorbing it. So you really need extra B12 in shots. And it's so funny because they say doctors get 10 minutes in the very beginning of their career to even learn about it.
Wow.
So they're going to look at you and go, I'm not going to give you B12. Your B12's high. You right. So I think you have to know enough and listen to your own body. And then I'm going to tell you, I think the world of answers can be out in the world from other people. If you've got an issue, talk to everybody you know, or if you hear somebody that's on a health journey and they've figured some stuff out, ask them what they think you should do. I was reading something the other day. We were working on some material that we're coming up with, and I found a thing by Jim Rohn that I love. And I thought, this is really what I've done. For some reason, my first instinct is, who can I ask?
Yeah.
But it said, if you have a problem, first thing you got to ask is, what can I do?
Yep.
Second question you got to ask is, what can I read? And third question is, what can I do? What can I read? And who can I ask?
Yep.
And I think we got to get to a place where that's what we do. It can't be we keep it a secret or we don't talk to anybody about it, because somebody out there has heard, especially with social media, of someone else who's had those same symptoms.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, if I have anybody that starts having certain symptoms and they start calling it things like autoimmune disease or any arthritis or any of these things, I say, you know what? Check for Lyme and mold. You may have Lyme and mold and don't even know it.
Yep.
Because I see so many people in this course that have been to so many places that just misdiagnosed them. And then now they're just super, super sick.
Yep. Yeah. And that just made me think of this crazy story. But when we were in Columbus and went to dinner with Tony and Diana's doctor, and we had a friend with us who'd been having like leg numbness and pain. And I was like, you just happen to be at the right place at the right time, because you got a great doctor here at the table that we can ask questions to. So anyway, he saw him the next day. And did I ever tell you this? Do you know what it was? It was a shoulder, and he had been in like immense pain with his thigh going numb and like just killing him, like on the airplane there. He said he like had to stand up, like it was just major painful. It ended up being a shoulder issue that was connected to a root canal that he had.
Isn't that crazy?
And it was and Dr. Whitfield, I guess, adjusted him and did a couple things. But anyway, and it was somehow connecting from the root canal to the shoulder. And then it was shooting down to his thigh that was making his thigh go numb. I mean,
that's just crazy.
And he had been like, what is happening to me for like weeks, like couldn't figure it out. I mean, it's just, but I was like, you asked the right person. Like that's, so I love that, because I'm a big asker too. Like I'm going to ask everybody until I find out somebody that knows something. Yeah.
So I would say, become the CEO of your own health, and don't keep ignoring anything that doesn't feel right or normal. And the cleaner you get your body, the more you know when something's not right.
That's so true. So true. Yeah. Yeah. So true. You really don't realize, I mean, I'm especially like, gosh, being from the South, me and you both have, like, I like to eat.
Yeah. We're foodies.
Unfortunately, I always say, I wish I was one of, like, my mom's not really like that. Like my mom's kind of like, nothing really sounds good to me, or I don't really, and I'm like, really? Like, I like to eat all the time, anything, all the
Yeah.
time. But it is wild how when you do go, like, the cleaner that you are, and then when you're off for a few days, like, just drastic difference in how energy, sleep, I mean, just everything. You just feel so different.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would say level 2 would be hormones checked, gut checked, and using, some type of, if you haven't gotten an Aura ring, then
Yep.
step 2 would be for sure to get that kind of stuff. Start, there's so many smart watches and smart things, this thing that can make you just start becoming aware.
Yeah.
And then I said level 3 would be genetic testing, because so much can be determined by genetics. And here's the cool thing about genetics is they don't absolutely determine you for something. They
Yeah.
give you a path of things you should really make sure you're not doing or doing because of your genetics.
Yep.
So genetics, peptides would be next level, concierge doctor, stem cell is what I'm hearing a lot about right now. And there's somebody in Buenos Aires that is doing this amazing thing with stem cells. So stem cells, those are all like real high level,
Yep.
way out there when you really want to
Yeah.
take it to the next level.
Adam would say that peptides have been the difference maker for him for sure.
Yeah.
Just in how he feels and how he's able to. I have no clue how he's still able to work out like a high schooler, but he is. And
Yeah.
he really he feels like peptides were like peptides mixed with, I think, some hormone stuff
Yeah.
were like the game changer for him.
Yep. Yep. So anything cool that you've already been to your doctor or no?
I have on and off, but I start the whole full thing. I do all my blood work on Tuesday morning, and then I go back, I think it's 2 weeks after that, to do the VO2 max, the DEXA scan, like
DEXA scan. Mm-hmm.
I'm there for 5 hours, whatever day that is. So I'm anxious to get all that back. It's like balance, all the cognitive testing,
Yeah.
like everything. And then I think more blood work then. But yeah, knock on wood. I mean, my other stuff, I've never gone to that level. That's what Adam gave me for Christmas. Super
Yeah.
fun gift that I'm excited about, but I can't wait to get all that back. And I'm like, actually, I told Adam, I said, I can't wait to get it back and tell Linda so she can like
Yeah.
go.
Oh, we'll have to talk about that on one of our episodes.
Yeah,
Great. So
I'll have to do live results.
yeah. Anything else you would add that you're hearing that on, if somebody really wants to level up this year on health?
Yeah, the only other things that I had, just trying to think that we didn't cover. Well, actually, what we just talked about, one, like, and you kind of said this, I would say, I don't remember what level, but just like baseline blood work. Just
Oh,
make sure
yeah.
that you're getting like baseline blood work, and then you
Yes.
go back and regularly do it so that you can see, where you're at. And then I'm a huge, and I know you are too, but I'm a huge proponent of like the infrared lighting.
Yes.
Get in our
Yes.
infrared sweat bed. We still have the Jove or whatever it's called, which Adam and we forgot to do that for a couple of months. And then we just recently started turning that back on because I read something about it again. But there's so many benefits to that stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
huge benefits to that for your nervous system, especially. And then just walking, like walking is so, I actually
Yeah.
just read something last night. I meant to send that to you, Linda, but I'll have to go back and find it and send it to you. It was on Instagram. It was this whole list of all the benefits of walking, and it's crazy. It's just crazy. I think once you get on the routine, but there's a girl that I love, who's a certified brain health practitioner named Kayla Barnes. Her Instagram is Kayla Barnes, KaylaBarnes, Kayla Barnes. She is like, I have followed her for years. Her stuff is incredible. And actually, wait, maybe she was the one. Let's see, was she the one that was in? Oh no, she's based out of Cleveland, Ohio. She has a wellness, functional medicine space in Cleveland, Ohio, but she is smart. Like, I love following her stuff. I have learned so much from her. And if she says buy it, I'm like, swipe up. And everything she suggested, I have loved.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, but that led me to say, just like, the only other thing I would add is start just following some people like that, or like, go follow Dr. Daniel Amen on Instagram, or Peter Attia, or like start reading some of those books. We watched that Live to 100, the Blue Zones or whatever.
Yes, it was so good.
Yeah, I mean, once you kind of, it's like anything else, but once you kind of start getting into this stuff, like then you'll see like books you should read or things you should watch on Netflix or
Yeah.
people you should follow on social media. And you just pick up little tidbits of information. But it was cool to see the similarities of those blue zones of like those people that live
Yeah.
beyond 100. And a lot of
Yeah.
it is what they eat. I mean, a lot of it is they're not eating anything that's processed. They're just
Yeah. They're eating
not.
whole foods.
They're eating
Yeah.
whole
They're
food.
eating.
Yeah, and they
They're,
walk everywhere they go. I mean, most of them like are walking everywhere. And they're outside a lot.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Getting
There's
vitamin D.
yeah, there was several similarities that Adam and I were like, man, that really like you can see that in almost every one of them.
Yep. Yep. So
Super cool.
true. Yep. I would say absolutely. The information's out there, and nowadays you can have these functional medicines doctors. You can do lab work locally. They will send it if you do it through LabCorp or somewhere like that. They'll get a copy of it, and then they will sit on a Zoom with you. So you no longer, if you like somebody in Cleveland, call and try to get in with that functional medicine doctor.
Yeah.
Find the best because proximity is no longer a problem.
It's not.
You know, I get excited thinking, wow, who can I be in contact with now because I can do a Zoom meeting with them. Hey, that opens up a whole new world of specialist functional medicine doctors, people that you can, work with.
Yeah. I know our people here in Charleston, they want to see you like once or twice a year, but then the rest you can do. I mean, they'll Zoom or do whatever with you. So that's cool. Cause I feel like we didn't used to have that ability.
Yeah. So true. So true.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, we kicked off the January with health. And hopefully we'll have a few of our favorite health advisors come on this month. Yeah. And then we got in February, we're going to have All About Love with Adam and Jimmy.
Yep, that's right.
So send in your questions that you want us to answer. Jimmy and I just celebrated 42 years. You've celebrated a year, right?
Yeah. 42. Was it really?
42.
Wow.
Can you believe it? It's like a blink of an eye.
No, I cannot believe that. That's crazy. Aw, happy anniversary.
Awesome.
When is y'all's anniversary? When was it?
January 11th.
Oh, January 11th. Okay. Yeah, love it. That's great.
Awesome. So remember, if you have not hit subscribe, please go ahead and hit that button now. And the greatest compliment you can pay Dana and I is to pass this podcast along to anyone that you think that would enjoy these conversations. And of course, we'd always love a great review. So if you have a question, a challenge, or an opportunity or a guest that you'd like for us to bring on the show, be sure and reach out to us at info@everything life and real estate. Dana, I'll see you next week.
Okay, sounds good. See you then.
Be sure to subscribe for more business strategies and tactics to inspire you to live an abundant real estate life. Don't forget to rate and review so we can bring you the best content. Find this and other valuable information at everythinglifeandrealestate.com.